So Stephen says, brethren and fathers, listen, the God of glory appeared to our father Abraham when he was in Mesopotamia before he dwelt in Haran and said to him, get out of your country and from your relatives and come to a land I will show you. There he's quoting the scriptures, of course, the Old Testament scriptures. Then he came out of the land of the Chaldeans and dwelt in Haran. And from there, when his father was dead, he moved him to a land in which you now dwell. I think this is important because he's speaking about Abraham, who was not a believer,
right,
and in a foreign territory, who's being called out of that into not just a land, but into a relationship with a God that he did not grow up knowing about.
Exactly.
Very, very interesting here. Verse 5, and God gave him no inheritance in it, not even enough to set his foot on, but even when Abraham had no child, he promised to give it to him for a possession and to his descendants after him. Here he's kind of dealing with Abraham. He is a man of faith, even though he comes from no faith.
Right.
He is a man of faith.
Right.
This is such a key. But God spoke in this way, that his descendants would dwell in a foreign land and that they would bring them into bondage and oppress them 400 years. And the nation to whom they will be in bondage I will judge, said God. And after that they shall come out and serve me in this place. And then he gave him the covenant of circumcision. And so Abraham begot Isaac and circumcised him on the 8th day. And Isaac begot Jacob, and Jacob begot the 12 patriarchs. Now, Dallas, why is this so important that Stephen is kind of laying this stuff out to him?
Well, again, he's laying out their entirety of their history. He's summarizing the entire book of Genesis right here, right now. I remember a couple years ago, we did a series, I think it was Threads that we did, was a series.
Threads, yeah.
And we did, it was like 6 months just going through the book of Genesis.
Yep.
He's doing that in what maybe 3 paragraphs right here.
Right.
But he's laying up the groundwork for going, let me make sure you guys understand where we have come from. I'm one of you guys.
Yep.
I am a Jew just like you. I've grown up in this faith. I understand what's going on. And again, he's setting them up for them to understand something bigger at the back end of the stuff of where they've come from and their history of denying what's been presented to them over the years.
So key. He is really not separating himself from them.
Right.
He is bringing him. So many times, I think when we share our faith, we almost bring ourselves into another category.
Almost the upper echelon of
it's
faith.
almost like we're not human,
right,
like you,
right?
It's almost like we take ourselves out of us and we bring it to you. Mm-hmm. And when you do that, you're already setting up you're already setting up a wall or a blockade to them coming to faith that doesn't need to be there.
Right.
Because we're all human. We're all imperfect. God, all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. And it's so important that Stephen, in his wisdom, which it said he was full of faith and full of wisdom,
right,
he's not separating himself from them. He's putting himself in that. And all the great prophets did this. All the great men and women of God did this throughout the scripture. And you can see the ones who didn't do this,
right,
how they failed.
Exactly.
Because Old Testament prophets, they would never just say, you. They would say, we, right? Not separating themselves. So it's very key. And he is walking them through, just like you said, he's walking them through their faith. Not going, hey, I'm a believer in Jesus and I'm over here.
Right.
Our faith, this is what our faith says.
Right.
You're saying that I'm bringing blasphemy against our faith.
Right.
But here is our faith.
Exactly.